Hi guys, Paul Pluter on the ArchieLuxury corporate channel. Today guys, I want to talk sexy wristwatches. What is the most sexiest wristwatch on planet Earth? And I've got to be honest with you, I am the guru's guru. The sexiest wristwatch on planet Earth is the HEUER Caliber 11, the HEUER Monaco Caliber 11. This is the sexiest wristwatch on planet Earth. This is it. This is the Steve McQueen. The left-hand crown, the bluey color, 70s blue. Man, this is all where it's at. The HEUER Monaco Caliber 11, as worn by Steve McQueen, one of the sexiest men of modern times. Let's have a talk about that famous wristwatch, the Caliber 11 Monaco. Well, what happened? Well, we go back to 1969. This is the race to the moon is on. We're landing on the moon. Everything is going fantastic. 1969 in horology. The first quartz watch is released by Seiko. The Japanese are biting at the bit. HEUER themselves there, they are worried. HEUER's a company famous for stopwatches and wristwatches. Manual wind. They want to move towards automatic. They know wristwatches, the flavor of the month is the automatic timepiece. So they team up, they gear up. So what do? It's a very costly thing. Developing a new system like this is big money. HEUER teams up with Breitling. They also team up with Bruin. They also later on team up with Hamilton. And these people, they team up with the movement maker Dubias, and they start working on Project 99. Project 99. Now the interesting thing is Project 99 itself there, it's they're working on getting this out as quick as they can. They're worried about the marketplace. HEUER themselves, they put this movement, which is the Project 99 becomes the Caliber 11 movement. They put this movement into the Monaco, the Carrera, and the Ortavia. Now those three models, they feature the Caliber 11 movement, which is, you could see by the crown being on the left-hand side. Those three models, they all had left-hand crown. Now, whilst this race was going on, we had Seiko, the Japanese maker. They were working on a chronograph. And then we also had Zenith. Zenith was working on their own automatic chronograph themselves. They were working on the Zenith El Primero. Now, I've got to tell you, who was first to come to market? This is a source of controversy. Who was first to market the automatic chronograph? Very, very tricky. It's a very tricky discussion. Who was first? It's like any invention. Many people were working on similar concepts in different means. Now, Seiko themselves had an automatic chronograph which was released in the Japanese market, which was probably the first. Zenith was, they are regarded as the first to have launched an article in a trade publication talking about their El Primero movement. This movement here, it worried Jack Heuer. Believe you me, Jack saw the article and shit himself because the Zenith had an integrated movement. This means this El Primero movement, it was built with the chronograph function built in. The movement was based, it was always meant to be, the El Primero was always meant to be an automatic chronograph from the ground up. The system that Heuer, Breitling, Bruin, and Hamilton were working on was a modular system, meaning they've got an existing movement and they put a module on to do the chronograph. Zenith integrated. The first to hit the world phase, generally speaking, is considered Heuer. That's right, Heuer is considered the first. They're considered to have taken the cap. However, those three makers, Seiko released an automatic chronograph in Japan for their domestic market. Zenith announced in a trade publication of their El Primero that was coming out soon, but it looks like Heuer was probably the first to launch in the international market. Now, out of all these pieces here, the Monaco is where my interest lies, and the reason I am such a lover of the Monaco is the Steve McQueen tie-in. The Steve McQueen, coolest man on the planet. I mean, he was in the Thomas Crown Affair. He was in Bullet. He was in so many cool movies, man. That guy was cool. He was cool. The Great Escape. Steve McQueen, cool guy, cool birds, cool guy, drove a Ferrari, a C-type Jaguar. Man, the guy was cool. Not just any Ferrari, a very cool 250 Ferrari, beautiful car. So, what happened? Le Mans was the movie, and Steve McQueen was interested in motorsport. He wanted to look like a racing car driver. They had those outfits with Heuer on their jumpsuit. Naturally, they would wear a Heuer timepiece. Now, this is where it gets very interesting, because the story goes that the Monaco was probably the least popular item with racing car drivers. They'd normally go for a Carrera or an Altavia. The Monaco was meant as a trendy square watch, as something different. But what happened when they started filming Le Mans? They only had 3 Monacos available. Well, this was for the movie. They only had 2 Carreras and 2 Altavias. Now, the way it works is they have one for filming, one for close-ups, and one as a spare. So the choice was made. It was the Monaco. So it's quite a fascinating thing, because I always assumed Monaco, you know, Grand Prix racing cars, you think, yeah, of course, that's why they chose it. But no, it was actually a fluke of nature was the reason they chose the Monaco. It could have easily been the Carrera, or it could have been the Altavia, the Steve McQueen Altavia. It could have been one of those, but this is the way it was, just fluke. Cool people don't analyze this shit. They just go with the flow, man. So what happened? Well, the rest is history. Steve McQueen wore the Monaco in Le Mans. And What happened after that? Well, rumor has it that Steve McQueen was a bit pissed off with Heuer using his image and his good character to promote their wristwatches. So it's not exactly sure whether he would have approved of these Steve McQueen editions. How did the Monaco go? Well, the original Monaco, let's have a bit of a talk about that. The original Monaco was, the reference number is 1133B. And the original Monaco itself there, it was a 38mm piece. 38mm. Now, the interesting thing is, this piece itself there used a caliber 11 movement. Now, the Monaco, that nameplate itself there, what happened? Well, the 70s was a hard time for watches. The quartz onslaught. And unfortunately, Heuer didn't quite make it through this troubled times. It went broke, bought out, and became resurrected as Tag Heuer. And today, Tag Heuer is a brand within the LVMH group, the Louis Vuitton group, who, interestingly enough, LVMH actually owns, as well as owning Louis Vuitton, they also own Zenith, one of the big competitors to the HEUER Monaco at release time. The original Monaco itself, 38mm. These watches, incredibly collectible, very, very valuable type timepiece. They are a bit of a tricky thing to own. They are worth anywhere from $15,000 to $30,000 depending on condition. But they have a proprietary type case which needs a special tool to open the case. And that they are a difficult thing to service. The expert for servicing these vintage Monacos is actually a watch guy, I believe in Germany or Switzerland. There's a few who specialize in vintage HEUER pieces. So that was the original Monaco was the 1133B, 1133B. And what happened then is obviously this is a iconic model. I mean, the Monaco is just super cool, super cool. Models that came out, if we have a look at other Monacos, this is where it gets interesting. In 2003, they had the caliber 17, which was the model number CW2113, CW2113. That used a caliber 17. In 2010, they had a Monaco which was using the caliber 12, which was using movement. Sorry, it was using the reference. The model reference is CAW2111. But if we focus on caliber 11, so Monaco, and then we say caliber 11. So we look at the caliber 11, the main releases that have come out there, we've got the original, which was the 1133B. Then we had a limited edition which came out in 2009, which was CAW211A. Now, the interesting thing is this version, it featured the caliber 11 movement, of course. It was actually 38mm, just like the original, which was 38mm. Only 1,000 of these were released, and they were very expensive. They were about $10,000 US per piece. despite the high price, they sold out very, very quickly. Where the Monaco gets interesting is that in Baselworld 2015, which was only a couple of years ago, they released this beast. They released the CAW 211P. So this here is the modern caliber 11. So 2015, now it was using a 39mm case, so slightly bigger than the 38mm, obviously than the previous 2009 version, which was 38mm, or the original, which was 38mm. But it had a lot of the accents which were classic from the original. The blue. They also what they did do is they, on the dial itself, it was the brand name was Heuer, wasn't Tag Heuer. The caliber 12 had Tag Heuer. So the 2015 Baselworld version, this is like a true reissue. Now, the interesting thing is there is a little bit of controversy here. The original Monaco had the caliber 11 movement. The movement in the 2009 version there was based on an ETA base, and it had a module, the Dubai Drapraz module, which went on top of it. In 2015, they ETA parts for non-Swatch Group. ETA is owned by Swatch Group. Swatch Group is Omega, Breguet, Longines. If you weren't a member, LVMH, not being a Swatch Group member, was cut off supplies. So they went for a Solita movement, which is it's a movement which gets a lot of inspiring from the ETA. So they effectively cut the price in two from the 2009 version to the 2015. Cut the price in two, 1 millimeter bigger. This is a bigger size, slightly bigger piece. And it was using the Solita movement. But true to form, it's using the caliber 11. It's a module from Dubai Drapraz. It's a module system. It's not a terrible thing they've done there. And I've got to tell you, in my opinion, there's a lot of nasty people who've said, oh, it's a Solita. Well, hang on a minute. It was $5,500 at launch. That's pretty good for such an iconic watch. That is pretty damn amazing. It's pretty damn fantastic, in my opinion. So, is it a terrible thing that they've done? I think keeping the price reasonable is part of the Tag DNA. And it's very easy. I gotta be honest with you. ArchieLuxury got it wrong. I was wrong to bag Tag. I was just jumping off the deep end, very emotional, very upset. And now I look at Tag with respect. They make some beautiful timepieces. And this was $5,500. That's retail price for an iconic piece. What would you prefer? 10,000 US for a ETA version, or 5,500 for a Solita based movement? I'll take the Solita any day of the week. And I got to be honest with you, I've got a number of chronographs. The way this chronograph works is spectacular. It's a very, very good system that they've developed. So, to answer the question, the sexiest wristwatch, it's the HEUER Monaco Caliber 11. It is the sexiest. And I gotta tell you, Tag is in a certain price range. They have some very upper model price ranges. Let's be honest, you're a 20-something man. You've done your uni degree. You want an exciting new wristwatch. You've got a promotion. You want an exciting watch. You don't want to wait 10 years before you're balding, overweight, and not so cool. You want it now. You don't want to buy secondhand because you're not an expert on wristwatches. You want something new with a warranty and a fancy box, and it's a trophy purchase. Is it so bad to walk into the Tag Heuer store and pick yourself up a piece? At least they've got stock. Have a look at items like the Tag Heuer Formula 1 Batman. At least they've got stock. 2,500 Aussie dollars for a very usable GMT sports watch. 5,500 US, 7,650 Aussie. That's the retail price of this watch here. You can't go really that wrong. It's cool. It is a cool wristwatch. It is a cool watch. There is no cooler than the Steve McQueen HEUER Monaco Caliber 11. That is the coolest watch. Bang per buck. Bang per buck. It is just cool. That is the coolest watch. I really love my HEUER Monaco. I love that piece to death. I've been offered a profit to sell it, but I can't sell it because it's part of my DNA. Me, ArchieLuxury, the international YouTube celebrity and luxury goods expert, I love my HEUER Monaco. I'm proud to be part of the HEUER family. I love my HEUER. I love to strap it on. I love to wear it. And if some tosser wearing a Rolex doesn't think it's cool, quite frankly, I don't give a damn. I'm Paul Pluta on ArchieLuxury Corporate. Please like, subscribe, tell your corporate friends, and don't forget, guys, have a look at my other channels. Paul Pluta channel. I've got some fantastic channels happening. Paul Pluta, HEUER Monaco fan and lover. See you later, guys. ArchieLuxury, just visiting some friends in the city. Some friends. This is new brand allegiances. And you can't beat them. Sunshine, why don't you join them?